Today, we're going to talk about something wild. We're looking at how an AI tool originally built for movies ended up on a path to solve one of the biggest problems in all of robotics. Yeah, it's a crazy journey from the silver screen all the way to the silicon brain. Okay, so let's just dive right into the main question: Hollywood special effects and the future of robotics. I mean, what do those two things even have to do with each other, right? They seem like completely different universes. But it turns out there's a surprising link that's popped up, and honestly, it's changing everything in ways nobody saw coming. All right, to really get how this all fits together, we've got to rewind a bit. The company we're talking about, Runway, well, they didn't get their start building robots. Nope, their story actually begins in the world of art and, you guessed it, film. So Runway gets its start back in 2018, and their mission was super clear. Let's build awesome AI tools for artists. And their success? It was like meteoric. I mean, seriously, think about this. In just a couple of years, they go from being a startup to making the insane visual effects for an Oscar-winning hit. And by 2025, pretty much every top film studio was using their stuff. But here's where it gets interesting. As their AI models got smarter and smarter at making video, something weird started happening. Something nobody expected. This tool they built to basically make up stuff, to create fiction, it was starting to understand reality. And I mean, like, on a really deep, fundamental level. Okay, and this right here? This is the heart of the whole thing. It's how a tool for artists accidentally turned into a physics engine. This is the moment the story takes a hard left turn, away from Hollywood and straight into the world of, well, actual science. So Runway's CTO, a guy named Anastasis Germanides, he starts noticing this incredible pattern. The more data they threw at the AI, the more computer power they gave it, it stopped just copying what it saw in videos. It started to actually simulate the real world. And this is the mind-blowing part. Nobody taught this AI any physics, not a single equation. It just started predicting how things are supposed to work just by watching. It picked up on things like how water moves, how light bounces off stuff, the basics of motion, all from just watching hours and hours of video. It's wild. So how does this even happen? Well, it's because these AI models are what we call a black box. Basically, we don't really know how they're thinking. The inner workings are a total mystery, even to the folks who made them. You know, it's kind of like how a little kid learns about gravity. They just watch things fall enough times to get the idea. They don't need to read a textbook on physics to know that if they drop their toy, it's going to hit the floor. And you have to understand, this is a totally different way of figuring out the world. You know, usually scientists have to build these super complex models from the ground up just to predict one specific thing, like how a storm will move. But this AI, it learns the rules of physics almost as a side effect, a byproduct of just trying to make videos. It's like finding a massive shortcut to simulating reality. Okay, so now Runway has this thing they never meant to build, a world simulation engine. And it just so happens to be the perfect key to unlock a totally different field, a field that was hitting a huge, expensive wall. And that wall, that bottleneck, is simulation. Just like their CTO said, trying to train robots in the real world, it's a nightmare. It's slow, it costs a fortune, and it can be really dangerous. I mean, you can't just let a robot smash into $1 million machine a few thousand times until it learns, right? You need a safe place for it to practice, a virtual playground. And this is exactly where Runway's accidental discovery becomes a total game changer. Instead of having to spend forever building these detailed virtual worlds, their AI can just create them from regular old video. It's a super fast, cheap, and totally safe way for robots to run through millions of different situations before they ever have to do it for real. But wait, the story doesn't end there. This technology isn't just taking a detour into robotics and leaving Hollywood in the rearview mirror. Oh no, it's actually having a huge and yeah, kind of controversial impact right back where it all started. Just think about it for a second. What has always made a movie star a movie star? Their value has always been this kind of package deal, right? It's always come down to two main things. You needed the right look for the role, and you needed the acting chops to actually pull it off. Your face and your talent, they were completely tied together, bundled. But now, AI tools are like the most powerful digital makeup you could ever imagine. They can completely change how an actor looks. So that bundle we just talked about, it's being ripped apart. All of a sudden, what an actor physically looks like might not matter at all. The entire focus could shift to just one thing. How good is the performance?
And that kind of fundamental shift, well, it brings up some really big questions. Questions about art, about what's real, and about what we as an audience are even looking for when we sit down to watch a movie.
Now, not everyone is cheering for this. There's a strong counterargument, which the Hollywood Reporter put really well. They said that cinema has always had this unspoken deal. We, the audience, we buy into all the magic on screen because we know there are real, talented people behind it, working their butts off. AI? Well, it could shatter that deal completely. So that leaves us with this big, lingering question. Is all this AI stuff just the next logical step for filmmakers? Like when sound was introduced or when CGI became a thing? Or is it something different? By taking the human hand out of the magic trick, is it fundamentally changing what it even means to create something? That's the question that not just Hollywood, but the world of robotics is trying to figure out right now.